All right, guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to Fantasy Philosophy. Today we're going to be doing a little buy sell, try to get into there, see some guys that have some value that may be different between every other person. So here we are. We're at the Fantasy Philosophy Capital Research Management. We're going to talk about some stocks here, buy or sell some stocks. We're going to talk about some guys that are going to outperform, some guys we really want to grab. We're going to talk about some guys that are going to perform a little bit above expectations that are buys for us. We're talking about guys that are neutral. We don't want to buy or sell. We want to hold on. We want to watch a little bit. We're going to talk about guys that are going to underperform a little bit. So we're not going to buy them. We're also not going to sell them. We're leaning towards sell, but we still got to wait a little bit longer as well. And then sell, guys that we could sell high. Try to get some value. Maybe they had one good week, and you're like, oh, let's get them out of here. Let's get some value. All right. Okay, good. So let's start at the top. All right. We prefaced this in our recap video. We talked a little bit about this guy, Jay Ajayi here. Okay, running back for the Miami Dolphins, the 32nd ranked running back as of right now. Just had a decent game. Okay, rushed for 130 yards against the Atlanta Falcons. So let's start with Ant. Ant, what do you think about Jay Ajayi?
See, I'm gonna stay neutral on him.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold on to him. I don't think I could sell him for the value that I drafted him at. And I don't think he's going to outperform. So I feel like I'm just going to hang on to him. Hopefully he's a nice, solid RB1. I don't really think I'm going to get anything for him. So
Okay. What do you think?
kind of neutral.
For me, I'm buying strongly.
Strongly, okay.
I am strong buying JHI. The last 2 weeks, 20 carries. You know me, volume is great. JHI, the only thing that I don't like about him is that he has yet to get in the end zone. But watch this week against the Jets, giving up an average of 219 rushing yards per game. He's going to, who knows, he might have his vintage last year 200-yard JHI game, and I think he gets in the end zone.
All right, interesting. I think as for me, JHI is one of those top backs that really never wows me. He just really never does it for me. If I'm looking at someone
200
like...
yards is not going to wow you? I mean, what do you mean?
Yeah, but he had 200 yards 3 times last year, and that's it.
But
he
he's
had those
wowing
great
you.
games.
That's last year, though,
Maybe
Pete.
last year
It is
he
last
did
year,
wow
not
me a
this
little
year.
bit. But again,
Last game he had.
I don't think the consistency is there enough.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm not going out and saying I'll give him, someone up there for him. I wouldn't be going to
You
trade
can't do
someone
it.
big for him. And I'm waiting on him. I think again he is neutral, like you said.
Yeah.
I got to really see him take that next step. If he's getting over 20 carries, I want to see that touchdown, and I want to see big yards from him. Okay.
I like that he's neutral, though. So, it's easier to buy him in this spot. So, a lot
Right.
of people are neutral on him, so maybe you swoop in, give a better...
Right, but if I'm
trade.
neutral on him, I'm not trying to sell him right now. I'm waiting to see.
Yeah,
I
but you
think
don't
you
wanna
might
keep
have.
him
I
if
think
you're
you might
neutral.
have to give up too much to get him. And again, the Miami Dolphins offense. We're still waiting for it to click.
Yeah.
And I think it has a negative connotation. When you say
Cutler.
Miami, it's like
And then it's Cutler.
it's
You know,
Cutler.
yeah, I
oh,
don't like
like
Cutler, that's for
Devontae
sure,
Parker's
but-
hurt.
Right.
Jarvis Landry, although he did have a touchdown last game, doesn't
he's
he's not
really
doing
the
it
whole
for
offense
me.
is like,
Right. So
Yeah.
I think we got to see a couple more weeks of that Miami Dolphins offense starting to do
Right.
things.
Could be matchup based too.
Right, and I think a great time to sell him would be after that Jets game. I really do. I think if you have him and you want him, want to get some value out of him, sell him next week.
Right.
All right, next guy, Julio Jones. Okay, Julio obviously not having a great year thus far. Okay, only has one game where he scored over 10 points. So, and what do you think about him going forward?
Julio Jones, I'm neutral on him. I'm still waiting to see kind of where he's at. If anything, you're probably gonna want to buy him, I would say, because I feel like he's gonna have a good showing the next couple weeks. At least we hope, because that's why I'm neutral on him. I want to see what I could get from him. But if you really could afford it and sell him, you could probably get a pretty sick running back for him or whatnot. So. The name is there. It's Julio Jones, but
Yeah.
I would stick with him. He's you drafted him for a reason. Stick with him. It's still early in the season. I feel like everyone thinks it's all set in stone, but just ride with him.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. I would so buy Julio. He's got the Patriots, who are 32nd against the pass, coming up. And then he has the Jets, who are 19th against the pass. So, I mean, he's somebody who Matt Ryan has to look to more. And I can't trade him. I wouldn't be able to trade him But trade for him, I would definitely throw something out there and see what I can get.
So in my other league, not our league, another league that's honestly not as competitive, and I think that's why I pulled this trade off. But I traded Alex Smith and Sammy Watkins to go and get Julio Jones.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Now I'm not saying that
It
that
went
can
through?
happen. It
It
went
went
through, and I got Julio Jones. Now I'm not saying
You played him.
I'm not.
You
Now listen,
played
he
him.
desperately needed a quarterback. Okay,
Aaron Rodgers?
De-
Did Aaron Rodgers?
no,
Did he have Aaron Rodgers?
no, I don't know who
So
he
then-
had, but he desperately needed.
There's
a quarterback.
no way you could desperately need a quarterback
No,
that much.
I don't even like Alex
He
Smith.
Wow.
okay. He desperately.
I like Alex
He
Smith.
desperately
See, I like Alex
needed a
Smith.
quarterback. All right.
I think Alex Smith comes back to earth.
Yeah, so I mean Julio Jones. I mean I don't know if you're gonna get a trade like that, but if someone's desperate for someone, maybe you can go out and grab him because he's not doing what you need. Maybe he's on a losing team. You know, maybe you can
Right,
go
yeah.
in and swoop in and grab him and get him for a little bit lower. So keep an eye on that going forward. If you want to buy him, you probably want to grab him this week. If you want to sell him, you probably want to wait until Peter said after they play the Patriots. Okay.
Sure.
Next guy on the list, Doug Martin. All right, pretty good game so far. All right. 2 weeks in a row with 14 points in standard leagues. You know, just coming off that suspension, he's fresh. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
What are you doing with him?
I want to buy him.
Okay.
I feel like he is going to be hard to get, though, because he has been putting up not huge numbers, and I expect him to put up huge numbers eventually. He's got 14 points in both the games that he started in. But, you know, I really want to buy him. I really want him on my team. I feel like you're going to have to pay too much for him, though.
Okay.
So, you know, that's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
I personally agree. Doug Martin, I think if you own him, you want to hold on to him unless you get a crazy offer. If you don't have him, you're going to buy him, but you are going to pay a hefty price for him. Listen to his schedule going forward. He's got New Orleans, he's got the Jets, he's got Miami, he's got Atlanta, he's got Green Bay. Detroit, a little bit tougher, but Mark Ingram just ran all over him. Then he's got Atlanta and Carolina to finish the season, so pretty easy schedule going forward. Now, if you want to go and buy him, have to do a hefty
Now's
price,
the time.
now's the time to buy him.
Because he's going to explode.
You skipped Buffalo.
I skipped
who-
Buffalo.
Buffalo is 4th against the rush. And then you skipped Carolina,
Right.
who Carolina is 7th against the rush. And you mentioned New Orleans. They're 8th against the rush. So, in fact, I am going to sell Doug Martin now because also, last 2 weeks he's had 14 and 13 touches. I mean, that's not too much, you know? I mean, of course he's the guy. He's going to be the back that they're going to use, you know, in short yardage. But I don't like the matchups coming up. The next 3 weeks are going to be tough. You know, the Jets starting to get their stuff together too. That would be after the Saints. I think he's somebody who you get rid of now, and you don't have to worry about him because I feel like he is a shaky kind of guy. You don't know what's next with him. I would get rid of him now while you can and get something big for him.
All right. Keep an eye on him going forward. Next guy, Martavis Bryant. We spoke about him a little bit in our recap video. There was rumors that he wanted to trade. Now they're saying it's not. Rumors that he could possibly be going to Dallas. What do we think about Martavis Bryant? Are we buying him? Are we staying away?
I mean, I don't know. I don't get good vibes from Martavis Bryant. I feel like you could probably sell him, or honestly, wait, hang on to him, see where he goes. Maybe he'll stay in Pittsburgh, have a great game. After that great game, try and get rid of him. I feel like it's not sustainable, especially in that offense. They run through Antonio Brown, they run through Le'Veon Bell. I don't know. It's just not a good fit there. I feel like he should get traded, go to another team, and then I think he'll be good.
Okay.
For me, I think I would sell. I think it's going to be tough to sell him. Maybe, it would have to be a combination trade. But, again, you got a tough matchup. Martavis is not getting the targets. He's not getting the looks. A struggling Big Ben. They got Cincinnati this week who's first against the pass, surprisingly. And, I would sell him this week before he does nothing again against Cincinnati.
Right. And I think, if I'm a buyer, I'm mostly staying away from him. If I own him, I'm benching him, waiting to see. But if I can get a good deal for him, you know what? What the hell?
I would buy him to sit on the bench and see if he gets traded.
Now, who would you give up to get him? If you had to, throw someone out there and say, hey,
maybe I don't even know. If I have like a Buck Allen, maybe. And even that I think is too much. I think you could get a Martavis and even another, subpar back for Allen.
Yeah,
like a nice combination trade is who I would throw him in as a kicker, for the trade. That's why I would try to get him with.
Who would you rather have going forward, Martavis Bryant or Terrell Pryor?
It's a really good question. Honestly, Pryor hasn't been doing anything, and hopefully you could bank on Martavis Bryant getting traded to a team that actually uses him. I would say Martavis Bryant.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go the other way.
So if he gets traded, you would wait and see, and then possibly buy. And
Yeah.
if he stays, you would stay away from him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go move into Green Bay. All right. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers down for most of the season. Now, what do we do with those Packers wide receivers? Let's talk about the two main ones. Okay. Jordy Nelson and Devontae Adams. Maybe sprinkle in a little bit of Randall Cobb there.
Mm-hmm.
Pete, what are you doing with those guys?
I'm buying Adams. I'm gonna buy Adams, and I'm gonna tell the owner of Adams that, Rodgers is gone. This guy's not gonna do anything.
Like you always do.
Like,
to all of
you
us.
gotta sweet talk the
manipulate
guy.
us.
Right, of course.
Because
of course.
Devontae Adams, he's
Manipulation.
been putting up numbers. I mean, he scores with Hundley in. He's somebody you want to keep. On the other side, Jordy Nelson, I'm selling him. He's a huge name. He put up a lot of numbers with Rodgers, and you could definitely get a bargain for him. You can get a nice solid back, and even this is where I would throw Martavis. Get a nice solid back and throw Martavis and give him Jordy. That's what I would do. I don't like Jordy going forward. I would get rid of him now because I think the best days for him are behind him.
Okay, and as I referenced in the other video, Jordy Nelson's production didn't take too big of a hit. He went from 18 on average to 15 on average when Aaron Rodgers went hurt. So if I was the owner of Nelson, I would actually hold on to him. If I was a buyer of Nelson, I would try to go get him for something cheap. Devontae Adams, he does get those touchdown looks, which I like, but I wouldn't go crazy to go buy him. And if I had him, I would definitely, keep him as a flex option.
Yeah.
All right, another big guy who has had a tough schedule in the beginning of the year, but now is starting to have easier and easier matchups. Dez Bryant. Pete, we know you love Dez, so let's hear it.
I'm throwing up the X for him. I'm throwing up the X for the rest of the year. I'm keeping him on my roster if I have him, and if I don't have him, I'm buying him. He's coming back off this bye. He's going to come back stronger than ever against San Francisco, who I had prior going against him, and I thought he was going to be a big thing. But, we all know what happened with that. But we're talking about a real receiver here who's going to throw up the X at least once this week. And, he's going to face Washington after that, and likely no Josh Norman after all these commercials they've been having going back and forth. He's not going to be there. Dez is just, I don't know why everybody's so low on him. You turn on any football channel, they're always talking down Dez. Why? Keep talking him down. You go buy him. Dez is the guy you want on your team.
Pete, the reason why they're not high on him is because he's only had an 11.9 fantasy game. That's the highest he's had.
The consistency is there. You take away week one, the consistency is
Okay,
there.
your consistency. Okay, I mean you can't. Consistent doesn't mean 7, 9, 11. Yeah, that's consistent, but is that consistent? That's gonna win you games.
It's
week in and
consistently
week out.
low.
Yes, it's
something-
consistent. No, it's not that low.
It's not
It's
low.
mediocre.
If you
It's
combine it with somebody
mediocre.
who's boomer bust,
Now-
say Will Fuller, you're going to be successful. If
Oh,
that's your 1 and 2.
You're talking about
boomer
your wide
bust,
receivers, Pete.
throwing Gronk, your team's
Yeah,
stuff.
all right, that's
Come
all.
on.
That's your whole team. Okay, listen. I feel like Dez Bryant's. He went. His value.
Draft is a low wide receiver one.
Yeah, he is a low end wide receiver one. I feel like his value would have spiked up if Zeke's was suspension held
He's
up.
I
playing as a
disagree.
low wide receiver
However-
two right now.
No.
Always.
Yes,
Oh.
he's the
Yeah.
24th
Not
ranked
low
wide
wide
receiver.
receiver.
Right. Yes, Pete.
You know,
These numbers.
I
all right,
think
he's
Zeke being
consistent.
there helps him. They're going to be
It
worried
might,
about the run rather
might,
than the
but you
pass.
know what? With Zeke not being there, he gets the targets. He gets what
And
he
buy or
needs.
sell.
I'm selling.
You're selling him.
I'm selling. I mean, I put neutral. I kind of stick with him because I feel like, I mean, he is a name though. He is a
Right,
name.
he is a
I
name.
feel like you
And
can
he
sell
has an
him,
easy matchup. Maybe you wait for
He
that
does.
matchup and then you go out
and then you sell him. I just
wouldn't
don't like
sell him,
Dez.
but
I
if
really
you're going to
just
sell
don't
him,
like
I
Dez.
would wait a week for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
for sure. All right, so next guy on the list, Orleans Darkwa. Like we said, he has 20 carries for over 100 yards. Pretty good game against that tough Broncos defense. Now, if he is on your waiver wire, obviously he's a top 5 waiver wire grab. But,
Gotta have him.
but
One.
in some leagues, some maybe more advanced leagues, he's already on a team. Are you buying or are you selling him?
It's hard because his production was there last week. I'm gonna try and buy him.
You're
I
trying to
really
buy him.
am. I think the Giants finally found that running back.
Right. Pete?
I agree. I mean, buy now, or I would honestly maybe wait a week.
Yeah.
He's got Seattle. It's going to
Yeah.
be tough. And then
Yeah.
he has a bye. So I think after Seattle, he's not going to put up. He's put up 13 in standard the past 2 weeks. He's probably not going to put that up against Seattle.
No.
And then
I think
the
it's a
owner's
bye,
going to
so
want to
it's
get rid
like-
of him while he's on his bye.
Right.
So I think that's the best case scenario is to wait a week and then trade for him while he's on the bye. And then coming up, he's going to have the Rams and the 49ers,
Right.
which he should run all over.
So I'm actually an owner of Orleans Darkwa, and I'm gonna actually hold on to him until, like you said, that Rams and San Francisco game. See if he can break out. I'll probably use him for maybe one of my bye weeks. I know
Yeah.
Gurley and Bell both have bye weeks around that time.
Mhm.
So maybe you plug him in, you play him, and then see if you can sell him and get some good guys for get him ready for the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right, next guy, Andre Ellington. All right, he's been kind of a pretty good PPR guy, but he got 0 last week.
He did get the goose.
He got the goose, the dreaded goose, and you
Yeah.
don't want to see the dreaded goose,
Definitely not.
especially when you're moving in a new running back. Is this going to stay? Is it going to last?
Yeah.
You going to buy or you going to sell him?
I mean, I say get rid of him. You know, I don't think you'll get too much value from him now
Yeah.
because everyone's going to say, oh, AP's there. No, he's not going to get anything. So, honestly, I think it's too late for Andre Ellington. I think you're kind of stuck with him. Maybe roll with him because he is good in PPR, I would
Right,
say.
yeah.
But other than that, I think you're kind of stuck with him.
I would say PPR. I would buy, but slightly. You know, I wouldn't give up a lot. I'd give up
Yeah.
almost. You know, the owner is probably thinking about dropping him. So I would just send a trade to not somebody who's a very good value after a goose, but with AP, you got to expect that AP is not going to be able to be in on the passing downs, which Ellington is great at that. He should get more involved, and I think that was just like a one-time thing. He's a big part of that offense.
So let me ask you a question before we close out here. Would you rather have Andre Ellington or Tariq Cohen?
For me, I'm gonna have to go with Cohen just because his upside is through the roof. You know, he can get a huge game, but he is boom or bust. Ellington is more consistent, but who knows what's coming up for him with AP.
Same answer.
Yeah, I would say Cohen,
Same
too.
answer.
They're going to use him in that offense.
All right, awesome. Well, there you have it. There's our Week 6 episode of Buy or Sell. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed our shorter videos. We're going to try to give them to you in kind of a rapid-fire action. So please, give it a look. Give us a subscription on our Fantasy Philosophy YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at FNTSY Philosophy. And we'll see you next time.